Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites. How we doing today? We got a nice little topic for everybody today. So hopefully everybody's day has been going well. You know, it's hump day. So this is a perfect day to talk about what we're going to talk about, because we're talking about self-love, but we also going to talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. We're going to talk about sex today. So share this live. This is going to be an adult conversation. You know, we're not going to do obviously anything vulgar or uncouth, but it is definitely going to be one of those shows. So I'm hoping everybody is ready. This is one of my favorite tops too, AE. I just don't wear it often because it's obvious, because it's a print. It's like, didn't she just wear that like 2 days ago? But if I could get away with wearing this top or have like variations of colors all week, I would wear a top like this all week. I really would. Yes, Wayne World, we's talking about sex, baby. So it's hump day. So we gotta talk about sex. We gonna talk about sex today. Oh my goodness. So we got a nice little show for you today. And this is why I titled it the way that I did. The Black women's self-love movement is a scam. Because we're going to really talk about that and what I mean by that. I'm certain that over social media, you can go ahead and put a 1 in the chat for anybody who's ever seen a post of anywhere, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, wherever, where Black women are talking about self-love, and they're gonna love themselves, and they just, you know, they just gonna do it for themselves now, and you know, they just gonna, you can put 1 in the chat if you've heard that, if that's been like a thing. I'm seeing that's kind of like a thing now. Magical said it's a struggle post. They might be struggle posts. Most of them are struggle posts because it's a scam. Okay? Because it's a scam. Prodigy says selfish. I'm glad that you said that, because we're going to take a look at all of them different components. It says full of yoni steams, cannabis and tarot cards, and burning sage. So y'all know exactly what I'm talking about when we see these various women from, you know, wherever they are from, and they're always talking about self-love. You know, I'm going to love myself. I'm going to do things for myself. Thank you, Miss Lucchese. Thank you, Too Tall, for kicking off the contributions today. Thank you so much. Okay. But what is this whole self-love thing? Because when you see it in action, and when you hear about it in context of different things, it kind of make you be like, I'm gonna do a throwback. Things that make you go, Arsenio throwback for us, right? It's things that make you go, Because I'm gonna tell you where you usually see, I'm gonna love myself. It's often expressed in or said in moments or times of situations and things that include her leaving somebody. It includes her going alone. It includes her, quote unquote, liberating herself from some type of relationship or some type of situation that has encumbered her or hindered her from some goal or some feeling that she wanted to have, or some freedom that she wanted to have. I see a lot of y'all are saying witchcraft. And that is an aspect of it, because you do hear a lot of Black women who are into tarot, who are into, all of these different, what they call the left-hand path, that are always talking about loving themselves. But what we find is that the whole concept of self-love is actually really, really tainted, and it is transactional. So self-love, as it is expressed by today's modern Black woman, is a concept that is both transactional and selfish. Because what it is it's a situation that is about loving yourself, but also cutting out love from others and not loving other people. Okay? When the real essence of love is something that is shared, it is something that is reciprocal. It is not something to be kept in a box on your own. It's something for you to have that you also share with other people in your life. Thank you, Theo Johnson. Thank you so much. And thank you, son Judah, because your point is also very, very well taken. Said they are inferring that they are wasting time outpouring love on others in these failed relationships, which is utter crap. And it is utter crap, because we're going to get into why these relationships are failed. But that's an excellent point. It does infer that I have not loved myself by constantly giving quote unquote love to these raggedy men that don't return it, that don't give me the feeling that I'm looking for. So therefore, time to cut out all the other people and the noise and just focus on me. Just focus on loving myself. Not in the context of really trying to examine or understand the true essence of love. Thank you, AE. Says self-love as it is expressed by today's modern Black woman is transactional and selfish. Well said, Kendra. Self-love is union. Self-love. Thank you. It's union. So, but let me go on, because a lot of this concept of love is tainted again, not only because it is transactional and selfish, but too many Black women today don't even know what love is. Can we agree to that? Too many Black women today are not aware of what love is, what it looks like, what it feels like, or any of that. They don't have a true concept of love. Quick quiz. Where does a girl first learn love? Where's she supposed to learn it? Who's supposed to teach her that first? Just put it in the chat if you know. Thank you. Her father, her dad, a little girl's dad, is the first man that she ever falls in love with. And for a little girl, her father, as for most times my father was too, that is her Lord. That is her God. This man is a man that she can't see no fault in him. He is perfect. He is the strongest. He is the hero. He is the apple of her eye. He is the love of her life. Okay, can't nobody, especially if you a daddy's girl, can't nobody tell you about your daddy. Okay, can't nobody tell you nothing about your daddy. You understand? Nobody tell you nothing about your daddy. Because why? Right? Thank you, Cedric said thank you. Thank you. Right? Now, in a spiritual sense, a child has to be taught about God, the Most High. But a little kid, a little girl, her father is her God in her mind. That's what it is. That's who he is. Because why? What is this? He's the origin. He's the first one that gives her that masculine light. Okay? He gives it to her in a pure form. He gives it to her unabashedly. He don't require nothing. He's not really asking nothing other than for her to be a good girl, a good little girl, be an obedient little girl. That's really all that he asking. And even if she messed that up, even if she's kind of a little hard-headed little girl, he's still gonna do it, right? So that's his provision. Because she don't know nothing about money and bills and all of that. But what she does see as his provision is his masculine light. And it's so pure in that relationship that she just love it. She just eat it up. You ever seen a little girl be a daddy's girl? She just eat it up. I know I ate it up. And I know that if there's some lionesses in this chat, put a 1 in the chat, lionesses view was a daddy's girl. Okay? Let me put my 1. I'm going to put my 1 too. Let me see. Yup. There we go. If you was a daddy's girl, go ahead, put your 1 in the chat. And even as grown women, we eat it up. Right? Because daddy is the first one that show you that love. He gonna problem solve for you. Any of your little kid problems, they just be tearing you apart. Them little kid problems about toys and school and you know what I'm saying, and crayons and all of that type of stuff. He is going to settle you. He gonna solve it for you. He gonna give you the answer. He gonna put you on his knee. He gonna hug. That's the procreation. He gonna kiss you. He gonna hug you. He gonna pet you. All right? He gonna teach you. That's his problem solving. And you know he gonna protect you. Daddy gonna protect you if don't nothing else protect you. And daddy is the best protection. You understand? Can't nothing get through your daddy. Can't nothing get through your daddy. Bulletproof and everything. That's what a little girl think. Thank you, AE. Once again, say Kendra, even Tokyo Tony, Black China's mom, she even said the children belong to the father. She said it during a live months ago. Tokyo understand. Okay, well, we hope she understands. She don't ruin her daughter before she can get some understanding. But I believe you. But thank you once again for your contribution, AE. Okay? Your daddy don't nothing get through. Your daddy is invulnerable. He's indestructible. That's what we feel as little girls. This is the love we have for our daddies. Okay? And the love that he gives is so pure. And you are, as a girl, you are to learn that love and translate it in every other area of your life. This is what love is. It is something pure. It is not something selfish. It is not transactional. It is not any of them negative things. It is something so positive and so wonderful that you can't wait to share it with everybody else. You really can't. So this whole self-love, I've been wasting time, quote unquote, loving these men or whatever. That's all craziness right there. That's foolishness right there. Because Black women struggle to understand love. Because if she got it from her father and took it for granted and didn't pay attention to the lesson in love that he was giving her, she gonna put herself behind the 8 ball. She gonna put herself in a trick bag. What she gonna do? Okay? If she didn't have that guidance of love from her father, then she's going to get a different lesson about love. She's going to get the lesson that American culture will teach her. She's going to get the lesson that the lost value system is going to teach her about love, about relationships, about how she's supposed to interact with men on an intimate level. She's going to get a different kind of education. And too many times, she's going to go through trial and error, all these failed relationships and all of that type of stuff. But the reason why the relationships are failures is really due to her bad or her low self-esteem. Her low sense of self-worth. And that low self-esteem and low sense of self-worth comes primarily from her bad sexual decisions. And that's what we're really going to be talking about today, because a woman's value is comprised of a few things. We have personal market value, her belonging market value, her friendship market value, her sexual market value, and her marriage market value. Today, we're concentrated on the sexual market value, because while her value is comprised of all 5 of them things, we're going to focus on that sexual market value, because that's where so many Black women fall into a trick bag and a trap. A trick and a trap. And we're going to talk about why it's a trick and a trap. Why the sexual market value area is a trick and a trap. Okay? Because when we think of Black women's sexual market value, we often think of it in negative terms, even the women themselves. And we speak about it from a negative standpoint. Usually we talk about her sexual market value from the perspective of how it has destroyed her, how it lowers her value as a woman overall, how it has been destructive to Black men, how it has been negative and destructive in terms of not being able to create families, communities. You know, you can't turn these hoes into housewives and all of this sort of thing. It's really talked about in that negative way. But there are also other components that are included in a woman's sexual market value. Because in this culture, in this country, a woman's sexual expression is only negative, or it is only allowed to be negative. And it's encouraged that it be negative. But what we got to explore today here on the Crimson Cure channel is the positive side of a woman's sexual market value, her sexual expression, and her sexual desire, her sexual energy. We know it's a positive side to that because we're going to get into it real quick. The reason why in this culture it's only spoken of negatively is really stemming from the women's lib and the feminist movement and the sexual liberation movement. And that's really the biggest part of the scam of the self-love attitude or movement. Okay? Because the women's lib and sexual liberation feminism movement actually gave rise to and created the foundation for thought culture and hookup culture that we're in right now. And this culture has been a direct, it has been the direct thing that has lowered a woman's sexual market value. This thought culture, because it separated her sexual energy from its higher purpose. It separated it by making it casual, by telling women that sex didn't mean anything. It's nothing. You can just get out of the way. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't hold any value. It doesn't hold any weight. Why are you holding on to it? It's just an act. It's just something you could do. You don't got to try to have any type of other love connection or anything of the sort. And since women control the biological component of sex, meaning that we're the ones that allow access to our wombs, allow access to sex with us, and men actually control marriages and relationships and the connections of those things, which is cultural, the way in which women allow this access, the way in which this happens depends heavily upon her perception of sex, love, and intimacy. Y'all with me so far? Y'all with me so far? Put a 2 in the chat if you with me so far. Because we're going to talk about the 6 components of a woman's sexual market value. There's a positive side and then there's a negative side. The positive 3. The positive side of her sexual market value is 3 things. It is loving. That's number 1. It's loving. And what that means is that there is a spiritual connection through her God, this energy, this spiritual love, this spiritual type of love that she's getting from her belief in a higher power, the Most High. And she has this love inside of her, which she gives to and transfers and shares with her husband. What this does is that this creates a spiritual connection and a bond. Okay? It is really love, and it's the foundation for procreation. The second point of a woman's positive end of her sexual market value is purposeful. It's purposeful. When she has sex, there's a purpose behind it. And that purpose is children, reproduction, and the bringing forth and the formulation of a family. Okay? And the third part is satisfying. To satisfy herself and her mate, to be a stress reliever, to remove tension, and to reconnect with her husband emotionally. So when we say satisfying yourself and your mate, what we're saying is learn what I need as a woman to satisfy me sexually. I have to learn. I have to begin to understand what it is that satisfies me sexually. Understand that so that I can give that information to my husband. And then I seek to understand what satisfies him sexually so that I can give that to him. We satisfied one another. Okay? This is what we're talking about today. Excuse me. Thank you once again. AE says spiritual connecting, a bond, and is the foundation of procreation. The second is purposeful. The purpose is children and satisfy herself and mate. Exactly. But see, the women's lib sexual liberation movement tells Black women that the only way that she can learn what it is that she has or what satisfies her sexually is how. How do they tell her to do this? because that's going to lead us into the negative side. How do it tell her to find out that information? Y'all can put it in the chat. What do Black women gotta do in order to find out what satisfies her sexually? That she gotta have a 304 phase. That she gotta ride the carousel. Also, before we move on, let me add something else under purposeful. Also, it is the building of legacy. So legacy building actually goes under purposeful. So before we move to the negative end, let me restate the positive end of a woman's sexual market value. Its higher purpose, if you will. Love. Okay? Love, which would include the spiritual connection and the energy that she shares between herself and her God. She takes that energy of that love and that spiritual connection and she gives it, shares it with her husband. This creates love and is the foundation of procreation. The second one is purposeful, and that is children. It is reproduction. It's the formulation of family. It is the legacy building. And finally, the third is satisfying. To satisfy herself and her mate. To have it be a stress reliever. Because y'all know sex is a stress reliever, right? It removes tension. It reconnects the energy. Listen, you ever been in lionesses? The married lionesses in here. You ever been in the house with your husband? And all of a sudden, it's this little tension in the air. You know, y'all pitting and pecking at each other. You know, nitpicking, and it's just this little petty. You know, you're petty with each other. All of a sudden, ain't nothing really happening. Ain't no big thing happen or anything like that. It's just that every little thing it be like, you know what I'm saying? Thank you so much once again, AE. It's a big problem, Kendra. Whenever I watch these self-love vids, they never mention celibacy. Self-love is also freeing yourself from those stimulus. Thank you so, so much. And lionesses, y'all know how it is. You've been married, you're in the house with your husband. Everything is pretty much going okay. It ain't nothing really happening. But why you leave that right there? I don't know. Well, is light on in the bathroom? You know what I'm saying? Just petty. It be petty. We're trying to figure out, what's really happening between us. Because we ain't had no argument. Ain't nothing happened different today than happened yesterday. So now why we kind of at each other a little bit? I know what it is. And one of the two gonna figure it out. Okay? And a lioness got to be the one to figure it out sometime too. It can't just be the lion in the house. It's like, wait a minute. Let me reconnect. Let's recenter. Let's recenter. Because something is happening. It's getting too chaotic. And this could, if we don't watch it, this can steamroll into something else. And it ain't no need for it. It ain't no need for it. So here's what we do. There's a meeting in my bedroom. There's a meeting in the bed. We got to call a council meeting in the bedroom. It's a council meeting. We got to call a council meeting, a emergency council meeting in the bedroom. Now, the kids are still at school. In the bedroom right now, there is an emergency council meeting that we need to have. Because we need to straighten some stuff out. Now, this is going to be a special kind of council meeting because ain't going to be no talking. We ain't got to talk about. You see what I'm saying? It ain't going to be no speech or nothing like that. We ain't going to pass the little stick. You talk, I talk. There ain't going to be no talking. It's going to be a lot of other things happening, but no talking. You understand? It's urgent. Okay? It is imperative right now. And then once we have that meeting, you ever notice how a cloud just lifts Okay, thank you, AN. So please don't be late. And yeah, exactly. Don't be late now. And you know how the atmosphere just changed. Hey, Miss Sherelle, the atmosphere just changed. You've reconnected. You've recentered the energy. You've brought it back to a connection. You know what I'm saying? We back eye to eye. You understand? Sex is such a wonderful energy and act that the women's liberation movement made into the 3 negative things that comprise a woman's sexual market value if she wanted to. Ready for the 3 negatives? The 3 negatives are as follows, and then we're going to go to a commercial break. They are as follows. Number 1, it is transactional. Sex is transactional, okay? It is carnal, shameful, primal. Something that is meant for the bedroom, not the street, but nevertheless, it is transactional. Always there must be this stiff kind of give and take. It's prostitution. It's a transaction. There's no love or care or anything. There's no spiritual connection. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. It's strictly business. It's transactional. Getting flued out, transactional. You know what I'm saying? You want me to come through and, be an escort or this or that. Transactional. The second is humiliating. Sex is humiliating. It's this vulgar, the expression of it gotta be vulgar. It's gotta be dirty. It's gotta be nasty. It's gotta be just, you know what I mean? Like, it's gotta be humiliating. It's gotta be degrading. The sex gotta be degrading. Okay? It can't be no respect here. Can't be no respect. There's nothing purposeful about it. Nothing. We're not trying to make kids. We ain't trying to make no family. We ain't trying to build no legacy. We're not trying to do nothing like that. I'm trying to humiliate you as much as possible by making you do all of these various sex acts that I don't think you like, and I kind of get off on making you do them. Being flued out to Dubai to be somebody's toilet. Humiliating. Let me use you as a toilet for 5 stacks. Well, okay. See, this is where we've gone. And finally, the third negative component is criminal. The sex is criminal. This includes things like assaults, traumas, and grape, tortures. And so what this really is the criminal aspect is comprised of this kind of treatment that a woman can get. And the less value that the person that inflict this on a woman see in her, the worse this kind of treatment is gonna get. The worse it's gonna get. Okay? And so what the sexual liberation movement has done is it has made women separate her sex from her love. That makes her masculine. Okay? It makes her masculine. Because all of this is an energy anyway. It's an energy. But we're going to get into it after these messages. We'll be right back.
Look, I'm black guy. Hello, how may I help you?
Hey, Habibi, look, my hang low ain't working like it's supposed to. You got any of them sex pills?
May I randomly suggest one of these generic products?
Nah.
You should take the A game, little bro.
Bling bling for the ding ding.
Nah.
You shouldn't be taking that poison, little bro. Here, Try one of mine.
Yes, right. Any game will make a girl give you her credit card number. It is very true.
Plus, it's an all-natural solution for men. Not like these gas station pills gonna make your manhood shrivel up and fall off.
Oh my golly, he's right. A-game is an all-natural solution for men. And you take it and it give you energy and libido and your vitality will be out the roof.
I feel it kicking in already. I'm gonna go home and show my girl.
Okay, but don't forget to drink 16 to 32 ounces of water.
Hey, baby.
Ooh, look who brought their A game.
And the A is for apocalypse.
Cause I'm about to blow your back up.
Ooh, I love it when you bring your
And you know, we had to put together the commercials for this one, right? We had to put together, you know, he had to knock her out with the A game, the A game, the A game, the A game. He had to knock her out with the A game. You know exactly what's going on with that. Because A game is the #1 herbal solution for men's overall health, right? Because it's fun to talk about the libido portion, and A game definitely helps a man with his libido. So if you need a boost in the bedroom, you know you need a boost for the meeting in the bedroom, gotta come to the A game. But it also does other important things for a man's health, which is to also support his vitality, his energy, his strength, as well as his libido. So what A game really does is it assists and supports a man's health in order for him to meet all of these different challenges, to really be able to focus his mind and focus his energy and have enough energy to really do all of the things that he really knows that he wants to do in a day, in a week, and it's long lasting. So you don't actually have to take A game every day. You take A game once every 3 days or once every 72 hours. This is how long lasting it is. It doesn't have any crashes or any artificial ingredients that make you do this severe crash or anything like that. So it's going throughout your system for that amount of time. So once you take A game, you're really gonna benefit from the effect of it throughout that time period until it's time to take another one 72 hours later. Okay? So this is really this is an excellent product. It is 100% natural, only herbal, like I said, no artificial ingredients, nothing like that. No sugars and caffeines and all of these things that give you a false high. Nothing of the sort. A game is the #1 thing. So when you think of, as a man, if you think of how can I get myself on my health journey? How can I get myself together? A game should be the #1 thing that you reach for and that you think of. And in order to be part of the A game family, all you got to do is click the link at the top of the chat, agameherbal.com, and don't forget your 10% discount using the code Kendra10 so that A game can be delivered to you ASAP, okay? Thank you so much, everybody who's been on their A game. All right. So let's get back into this. Okay? Oh, I owe y'all something. Bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button. Bam, bam. You gotta I try to remember as much as I can. So we got 362 people who've hit the like button. And so let's see if we can get the other 300 or so people to also hit the like button as well, because this supports the channel and it helps the algorithm to get, to have YouTube to recommend this content to anyone who might be interested. So thank you so much. But okay. So we just got through talking about the 3 negative aspects of a woman's sexual market value. And these are the aspects that sexual liberation and the feminist movement have really had women focus on. And those things are transactional, humiliating, and criminal. Okay? The criminal. Now, interestingly enough, these are all things that women complain about. Women complain that sex is, we can't express ourselves sexually because it's always considered to be dirty when women express themselves sexually. And, we can't just like sex or enjoy sex because then we're seen as sluts and whores and all of this type of thing. And, it can be humiliating. You can get into sexual encounters with men who want you to do humiliating, degrading things in a sexual manner, or they complain about grape culture. We've heard these complaints, right? Which is ironic because the feminist movement that purports to help women fight against all of these concepts is the very movement that introduced the concept to begin with. So let's just understand that. That's why it's a scam. This is why it's all cap, because that introduced the environment and created the environment that gave way to all of these things. All of this thought culture, whore culture, you know what I'm saying? Everybody getting a BBL, everybody is promiscuous. All these women want to get paid for their sex and all of this type of stuff because women were duped into disconnecting her sexual energy from her spiritual loving energy. To disconnect the act of sex from the purpose of sex. To disconnect the act of sex, okay, from being satisfying and something that she uses to build connections. Women are taught to use sex to sever connections. So she's taught to use her sex as a weapon rather than as a healing balm in her relationship. She complains about, we don't like this sort of, how it's got to be, negative and why our sex got to be negative. Women's sex don't have to be negative. Let's talk about that sort of complex, the Madonna whore complex. Let's talk about that for a quick second. Because I want everybody, especially the young women that are listening to me, I want everybody to really, really understand something. Because we got sort of like this, a good woman, a pious or chaste woman should not have these sexual urges or that sexual energy. It's something wrong with her if she don't just want missionary. It's something going on with her or some defect with her if she feels like, I just want to be taken by my husband. I don't want to have to schedule the sex. I don't want to have to only, have this puritanical kind of sex. I don't want to do that. I want to have the type of sex that we supposed to be having that satisfies. I want to have, as a good woman, right, the kind of sex that really expresses my love that I have for my husband, right? I want to have that kind of sex. I want to have a sex that my husband can feel all of my emotions that I have for him in every touch, in every kiss, in every caress, in every sound that we make, in every, you know what I mean? Like I want him to be able to just be enveloped in this feeling of love that I'm really pouring out, because what is sex? Sex is supposed to be, right, the ultimate expression of love that two people have with one another. That's what it's supposed to be. Not this, give me a few dollars and then maybe I'll go down on you type situation. Good women have these energies, this sexual energy, but it's good. It's positive. It's wonderful, right? She just want to be taken sometimes. She just want her husband, you know. I want somebody to walk up behind me and kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck. I want my husband to walk up behind me and kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck and then do some other stuff to my neck. You understand? Not a bad thing at all. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're fighting against, because women's sexuality is not supposed to be transactional and dirty and primal and humiliating and degrading and criminal and traumatic. What good women with lionesses have to understand, first of all, I want every lioness in here to forgive herself for these strong sexual energies that you have. Because we live in a day and time and in a culture that would make us feel lower or feel negative about something so beautiful. Forgive yourself. Okay? Forgive yourself. Because you know what I mean? If you just want to be ravaged and your hair pulled and all of that kind of stuff, that ain't bad. That's some of the most beautiful stuff you can do with your husband. That's some of the most beautiful stuff you can do with your husband. Forgive yourself for wanting it, for desiring it, and for wanting to express it to him. After you forgive yourself, understand that you're not wrong for wanting or for having these energies, okay? Because they are wonderful. These are beautiful. Your sexual energy is beautiful, and it is designed to build deeper connections within your relationship, and they are meant to be expressed. Let's talk a little bit about sexual energy, because it is powerful. It is powerful. Put a 2 in the chat if you've ever heard of the term sexual transmutation or sex transmutation. Put a 2 in the chat if you've ever heard of the concept of sex transmutation or sexual transmutation. Okay. Sexual transmutation is essentially utilizing your sexual energy, because it is a powerful energy within a human being. Okay? But harnessing that energy, some people do it by denying sex to themselves, fasting, and keeping themselves away from sexual stimulus to build up sexual energy. Okay? And then utilizing the built up sexual energy for other non-sexual purposes like creativity. Sometimes a person is an artist and they find that if they remove themselves from sexual stimuli, they can refocus that sexual energy into their art. It can also go the other way. Indulging in your sexual energy by having sex, sometimes through self-stimulation, okay? And you build up that energy. Let me break it down a little bit more. You build up that energy and then you use it for something else. Men have post-sex clarity. Yes? Yes? Men have that. Every man in here can attest to post-orgasmic clarity. Because you just released sexual energy. Your mind cleared. Once your mind cleared, with a clear mind, what can you do? All the stuff that didn't make sense to you prior to that. Couldn't figure out a solution to a problem because your mind wasn't clear. Going to have sex with your woman actually cleared it. So now you can use that energy because you expended it. Now you can use the aftermath of that energy to think. Now you can think about, you're not thinking about sex. Now you're thinking about all the other stuff that you can apply your clarity to. Sexual transmutation. Women don't have post-orgasmic clarity. We have post-orgasmic focus. Focus. I bet y'all didn't know. Bet you didn't know, did you? You didn't know women get something too after an orgasm. Women get something too. See, men aren't the only ones that get something that mentally happens to them after expending that energy. After being conquered by her husband, brought to orgasm, after orgasm, women experience focus. What is that? What am I talking about? Because women are naturally what? What are we naturally? We natural a lot of things. Let me help you out. We're naturally chaotic. That sexual energy that we share with our husbands brings that chaos into focus. This is why when your woman be chaotic, you sleep with her. That's why. Because she gonna act right. Why? Because you brought her to focus. Now she can focus on tasks. She can focus on other stuff you want her to do. She can focus on raising children. She can focus now her energy into something non-sexual. Right? She gotta be able to focus her energy. You just brought her to, this is why I'm saying it's satisfying. It's the stress relief. It's the reconnect. These are the things that whole phases and women's live and being casual and we can have sex like men can and transactions and all of that foolishness. This is why that self-love mess is a scam, because it's rooted in all of these negative aspects of a woman's sexual market value, because the woman that's talking about, she's going to do this self-love thing. She's still going to have sex transactionally. She's still going to be engaging in a humiliating form of it. And she's still going to, you know what I'm saying, think that all this, the sex that men have with her is somehow great all of a sudden. Because that's what feminists think. That is what feminists think. That is what the hyenas think. That is what they say. That is what they give to other young girls, to young women, to lead them astray, to put them in the trick bag. And due to this way in which they perceive their own sex and their own sexual decisions, that's got them feeling stupid all the time. Just like that woman I said that I did the video on, talk about I regret being a slut. This is why. Because she lowered her own value with all of this. All of these body counts. See, this is why men be talking about your body count make you not be able to pair bond. And see, it's not only, it includes the biological piece, but it's also the love piece. The reason why you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, and if she got too many bodies, she can't she can't be wife material is because she loses the ability to connect her sex to her love. She loses that ability. It's gone. It's finito. Too many transactions. Too many times going into sex with a transactional mindset and a transactional viewpoint that she loses the ability to connect sex acts with love when they really are the same thing. Sex is there to solidify marriages. Yes, that's why we have the term consummate a marriage. You can go through the ceremony, but your marriage ain't a marriage until you do what? And that's almost across almost every religion, especially the Abrahamic religions. I know it's the case in Islam and Christianity. I know that because in Islam, we can go and do the ceremony in the masjid, but your marriage ain't a marriage till you go home and consummate that. You got to consummate that. You got to go have sex. Because sex is the connecting energy. Now we're bonded. We've bonded on a spiritual level with the ceremony. Now we got a bond on a biological level. Then we gonna bond on a cultural level. That is what is saying in the Bible, and I'm gonna paraphrase it, when two become one flesh. The two become one because they become one biologically. They become one culturally. They become one environmentally. They're one. One thing. But feminism tell us that it's not like that and that it don't gotta be like that. That's why when these women are running around here talking about self-love and blah, 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 they never stop to think that you got to connect your sex back to your love. That's still separate. You're not even really going to experience love properly without connecting the two. That's the tea that nobody wants to tell you. And we done with the feminist outlook on our black men. This is why that's why they use sex against you in your marriage. You can be married to a whole man that you could not stay off of his bones before you got married. Now, 2 years into the marriage, he can't get nothing from you. Because why? You're in the mindset that sex is a transaction. If he don't do what I want him to do in this marriage, he not gonna get none. Transactional. Your husband wants you to get on your knees and he wants your eyes watery and your nose snotty now. And that's degrading. Girl, who you fooling? You did that 4 years before you met that man in a train in a hotel. Now all of a sudden you prudent. Now you think it's something wrong with it. Let's be real. Let's call a thing a thing. Then you get married to the man, treat the man like crap. Use your body and your sex as a weapon, and he better not cheat on me. Girl, he going out right now to find something. You ain't cooking. And he ordering Uber Eats. It is what it is. You get mad if you wanna. But you treat black men like crap because in your mind, hyenas, black men are monsters. And they're angry all the time. And they're violent criminals. And they're animals. And they rapists. And all heterosexual sex is grape. Knock it off. Knock that off. Knock that off. You only want to have sex when it's transactional. You only want to have sex when it's not anything that anybody can look good upon or look positively upon. Sex in your mind is nasty. Sex in your mind is gutter. You think it's like that. A man will be trying to make love to you like he care about you, and you will get mad. He being too soft. You think sex is gutter because you don't have any respect for black men at all, and you don't respect yourself. It's a masculine energy that it puts you in. When a woman disconnects love and purpose and satisfaction from her sex, she end up only with transaction, humiliation, and criminal elements connected to her sex. This is masculine. How many times, I'm going to prove it to you that it's masculine. How many times you done heard these chicks talking about they screwed a man? Oh yeah, I did him. Oh yeah, I'm running through them. I'm running through the men. I effed him. I effed him. How many times you done heard that? How many times we done heard them say that? That's not even biologically possible. Biologically, it is not possible for a woman to screw a man. It's not. Biologically, she ain't got nothing, because that would imply penetration. And biologically, she ain't got nothing to penetrate him with. And he don't have nothing that receives. So ma'am, you're not screwing anybody. You're getting screwed. You're getting ran through. You're getting pumped. And then consequently dumped. You. Not him. Masculine energy. The only real way for women to reclaim their femininity is to reconnect love to their sex. Okay? Because that is the essence of femininity. When we utilize the energy that we have sexually to make these wonderful connections all around us. The sexual energy also goes into the procreative energy, the affection, the hugging, the kissing. That's all your sexual energy. See, we gotta take it from being something dirty, right? Because it's not dirty. Just because a lot of black women's first introduction to her own sexuality is often on the negative scope. It's explicit, it's vulgar, it's humiliating, and all of these different things. It's transactional and all of that. So we will, because of this, we'll do things like cringe at the thought of our father kissing us on the lips. That's cringy. But we don't cringe at the thought of oral sex with any boy that we barely know. Same mouth. Oh, your daddy want to kiss you in your mouth? Why not? My mouth ain't doing nothing but eating and talking. My mouth don't do nothing else. My daddy can kiss me on the lip. Ain't nobody said nothing about nothing else. You know, with the same mouth, ain't nothing wrong with going to suck off half the football team, but it's something wrong with kissing your daddy in the mouth out of love, and the love is pure. We cringe at that. Think about that. We don't cringe. Thank you, Des. We don't cringe at the thought of, sneaking and watching a porn movie or engaging in or learning how to have sex in some, ungodly way. But we do cringe at the thought of a father teaching his daughter about her biology, about her body, about what to expect and in terms of love and relationship from men, what to expect from that. Everybody had a hissy fit and a meltdown when T.I. said he was safeguarding his minor daughter's virginity. Why, that's his business, because it's his daughter. He carried her before her mama did. She come from his loins. And he cared about her procreatively because he didn't want her to be out here getting ran through and forced to disconnect her sexual concept from the concept of love. And they brought him to the red table, to explain himself about something he did with his daughter. Because this is what fathers are supposed to do. Fathers are supposed to look after his daughter's sexuality, particularly when she's still under his care and under his management and under his leadership. And we got to stop thinking that that's something dirty. That a father should not have nothing to do with his daughter procreatively. See, don't nobody care about it with the son, but the daughter, now we got to think it's something wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. We are not talking about predators and sick people. We are talking about fathers who love their daughters and who only want the best for them. My daddy talked to me about boys and not letting boys do this and do that to me and what that does to me as a woman and how men see that. How men see that. He just gave it to me straight. Men don't like that. Men don't like no woman that done been with a whole bunch of men. Because she can't be with him because she not going to be able to get it out of her. All of them other men. He didn't have the terminology that we have today, right now that we're talking, but the concept was the same. That was my father with his affection and his love. That was him giving me the fourth P, procreation. Because he cared about what? I was a minor. I was like 16. I was still under his what? Leadership. I was still under his guidance. He was still giving me, he was the only man giving me 4 Ps. Nobody else would. You understand? And I know that there are lionesses in here with fathers that they honor. And when they was under the guidance of their fathers gave them all the hugs and kisses and poo-poos and tutus that he could. But when she got of age, that men was gonna start paying attention to her, his talk to her changed. Baby, we gotta talk. However her daddy did that. Baby, we gotta talk. We gotta talk about the birds and the bees. We got to talk about you. We got to talk about these men. Are you having sex yet? Huh? It's not, listen, are you having sex yet? Have you let a boy do anything to you? Is you kissing? Is you touching? Is you rubbing? Listen, I was a boy. My daddy told me I was a boy. I was 15, 16 years old. Yeah, I had all kind of girls. I had all kind of girls. I had a girl over here, a girl down the block, a girl down. I had all of them. And I know what I was doing when I was 15, whatever they let me do. I was doing whatever they let me do. They let me touch that and feel that and grab on that. I was touching, feeling, and grabbing. And I didn't have no shame about it. I was proud of it. Matter of fact, I felt pretty big. Stuck my chest out after. Whatever they let me do, that's what I did. He said, I would talk him into it and everything. And, girl, why don't you come over here? Come over here, girl. It ain't no big deal. It's just me, you know me. He said, I'll talk him into it. And they be, wobbly on the fence. I just get them right off that fence to my side. You a girl. It's some boy out there that's like me or worse, that you like, that is able to come get you off that fence to his side, like them other girls. And he said, I'm telling you, I know y'all done had this conversation with y'all daddies or something similar. He said, I know about what it is. He said, and them girls was good girls. Them girls was good girls. Them was good, wholesome, church-going girls. And I know they wasn't running around with no bunch of boys. I know they wasn't. That's why I could talk her into it. And that's why it took me so long. Because they would resist. Thank you, 39 Dina. They would be resisting because of what they was taught. You a good girl. You good. But you also a girl. You a girl. And you gonna like a boy. And you gonna like him more than you want to be obedient to what I'm saying. That's normal. All I'm trying to do is help you be careful. You gotta be careful. We have to correct what has been damaged. In order for us to regard ourselves as proper women, we have got to find and rejoin the connection between love and sex and intimacy, and think of it positively. Teach our daughters this positive outlook on women's sexuality and sexual energy. This is how we stay in our feminine energy. This is our feminine energy. This is our feminine power, because disconnecting it has been one of the biggest attacks on Black women culturally, having us to disconnect them things so that we don't have no sense of love and stuff like that connected with our sex. We have to be able to do that. I hope that this was helpful to everyone. I really do hope that young women and the women in general, the lionesses, got something out of it. Hope y'all got something out of it that will help you teach your daughters, help you teach them, and, just reinforce these positive connections and not these negative connections. You understand? I'm just trying to make sure I covered everything that I need to cover today. I think I got everything. Today. I hope this was helpful. Once again, I want to thank everyone for their contribution through Super Chat, through Cash App, through PayPal. Right? But there is one thing that I do want to add before we actually start cutting out of here. White supremacy has been in control of the narratives of women's sexuality and how it's supposed to be expressed. They represent Black women in the transactional energy only. And then they turn around and demonstrate white women in loving energy. This is why Black women's portrayals in movies and shows and things of that nature is always in this independent, strong, masculine, transactional, or she's a whore or something like that. She ain't never got no support. She ain't never got no husband. If she do, the marriage is bad, and all of this negativity connected to her femininity and her sexual energy. Meanwhile, white women are more often than not, they are portrayed as these feminine women who don't detach their sex from their love. Their sex is their love. They have love for their husbands. And, they really want to connect with their husbands. And they know how to use sex to do that. And their wives. And they're feminine. And they have loving relationships. And if they don't have loving relationships, then they working on having loving relationships. It's not a game. It's not a game. It's really not. We have to be able to understand what we're being told. What we're being told about who we are as women and who we're supposed to be sexually and who we're supposed to be as just women in general, whether we're supposed to be feminine or masculine. We can no longer allow them to have control over that narrative, because it's not only a cultural control, it turns into a biological control, because now we think we got to live up to that. We still think that what we see on TV is some type of ideal that we need to strive for. So Black women see this as an ideal to strive for, being hoes and alone and promiscuous. Like that Harlem show. All of them chicks was single. All of them was unhappy. But they presented it in a way that Black women were supposed to be aspiring to that. And it wasn't nothing to aspire to. It was trash, all of it. Anyway, once again, I want to thank everybody for their contributions through Super Chat, through Cash App, through PayPal. I want to bring everybody's attention to our petition against Black Lives Matter as well, okay? One of my mods, please put the link to the petition in the chat. Please, thank you so much. We are still going strong with our petition against Black Lives Matter Global Networking Foundation. Okay, we're almost at 8,500 signatures. Let's try to go ahead and get that to 9,000 signatures as quick as possible, because we are holding Black Lives Matter Global Networking Foundation accountable and responsible for the more than $100 million theft that they committed upon the Black community. So if you want to be a part of that, and I know that you do, please go ahead and click the link for the petition that's in the chat box, also in the description box as well. Sign, share, and contribute to the petition. Once again, I want to thank everyone for their participation today. And last but certainly not least, I want to give just this warm, awesome shout out to my support team, without which cannot bring you content every day. Okay, so many warm thanks to them. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.